Aircraft engineer is also called as aircraft maintenance engineer. In Europe, they are called certifying aircraft technicians. In the United States, they are called as an aircraft mechanic or A&P mechanics. In some countries, a graduate of aircraft maintenance engineering are referred as engineers, whereas a certifying engineer will be licensed aircraft engineer. Meanwhile, an individual must obtain a license from the National Aviation Authority in order to become an aircraft engineer. But the procedure to become an aircraft engineer might differ from country to country depending on the National Aviation Authority policy. While in Europe and in most of the Commonwealth countries EASA Part 66 is being adopted. EASA is the European Aviation Safety Agency. Some countries adopt FAR Part 65 to issue aircraft mechanic license. Few other countries are adopting a similar procedure to BCAR Section L. There are several grades of aircraft maintenance engineers. The individual with the authorizing privileges are referred as certifying staff. In most cases, certifying staffs are aircraft engineers. Certifying staffs are licensed. To acquire an aircraft engineer's license, the individual should prove the competent authority that he/she has adequate knowledge and experience. There are non-certifying staffs too. Non-certifying staffs can be mechanics technicians or support staffs. Working environment of an aircraft engineer. An aircraft maintenance engineer can be working in a line, base, or workshop maintenance environment. Line maintenance is maintenance which is performed at ramp, usually during the turnaround. It can be a transit check, troubleshooting, or component replacement. Nowadays A checks and B checks also being performed on the ramp. Base maintenance are usually scheduled maintenance, performed at dedicated places such as hangar or maintenance bays. Overhaul workshops are where the component is usually overhauled. At the completion of the maintenance task, a certifying staff signs a release stating that maintenance has been performed in accordance with the applicable airworthiness requirements. Education and training required to become an aircraft maintenance engineer. To become an aircraft maintenance engineer is to obtain the license or certification. The license or certification is given by the National Aviation Authority of the country the aircraft is registered in. You want to acquire license, you must fulfill the knowledge and experience requirement laid by the National Aviation Authority. It is possible to become an aircraft engineer without formal education. But you still need to fulfill the knowledge and the experience requirement. You may get few years exemption of experience if you study or train by a National Aviation Authority approved training center. The subjects you are required TPO study during the course: mathematics, basics of arithmetic, algebra, and geometry. Physics. Good understandings of mechanics, thermodynamics, optics, wave motion and sound. Electrical fundamentals. A deep understanding of electricity generation, current, resistance, voltage, and power. Level 3 understanding of motors, generators, lights, AC and DC current, and electrical distribution in the aircraft. Electronic fundamentals. Digital techniques. Material and hardware. Study of materials used on aircraft and its properties. Materials such as ferrous, aluminum, steel, alloys, titanium, etc. A Level 3 study on aircraft hardware such as screws, nuts, bolts, rivets and fasteners. Maintenance practices. A study on safe practices during aircraft and its component maintenance. Basic aerodynamics. A study on atmosphere and aerodynamics. Human factors. A study on human performance and its limitation on aircraft maintenance environment. And a deep study to avoid human errors during maintenance of the aircraft. Aviation legislation. Study of responsibilities and privileges of an aircraft mechanic and engineers. Understanding the legal requirements for Air Operator Certificate, Maintenance Organization Certificate, Engineering Personnel Licensing, etc. Airframe systems. A study of ALA aircraft mechanical systems, such as hydraulic systems, air condition system, fire protection system, fuel system, ice and rain protection, landing gear system, etc. Avionics systems. A study of aircraft systems associated to electrical and electronics, such as lighting systems, communication systems, navigation systems, and aircraft instrument systems. Piston engines. A deep study on aircraft piston engines and its associated systems. Turbine engines. A deep study on aircraft turbine engines and its associated systems. Propeller. A deep study on aircraft propeller and its associated systems. Aircraft engineers and mechanics study deep about all aircraft system description, its operation, and maintenance. Job opportunities. The scope of an established aircraft engineer is currently really good. But fresh graduates who are non-skilled or semi-skilled mechanics are still struggling to find jobs or struggling to survive with the income they get from the job.
Like, comment,